Hello and welcome, Speed Gaming 2. This is going to be an A Link to the Past randomizer daily race. The mode is No Logic Double Rods, and my name is JD Silvergun. If you've never seen this mode before, well, it can get a little crazy. The no logic literally means that there's no logic, so any item can be anywhere. So the runners are going to have to use a variety of game knowledge and major glitches to be able to beat the seed. At least usually. I have seen a few no logics that were beatable without any glitches, but that is not usually the case. So we should be getting started any minute here, hopefully. And interestingly enough, these two racers, Chex Human and Malmo, were the finalists in the No Logic tournament. So maybe Malmo is looking for a little revenge, and it looks like we're getting started here. Sank start for Chex and Link's house for Malmo, and looks like nothing in either of those chests. Well, actually, bombs is good for Chex. The arrows are, well, we may never see a bow in this seed, so the arrows are an as-needed basis. Malmo is doing a traditional glitch opener. Fake flipper to check the hobo. A neat little clip you can do there. Mirror and bonk rocks, that's a very good item to find. It can be used for a variety of glitches, as well as general routing assistance. So Malmo is going to swim to Ice Rod Cave, using a clip so that she won't need any bombs. This is also kind of a standard opener. I think I saw bombs for the tree pull on Chex's side, so that's really good. This mode can use a lot of bombs. They could be used for various things, like Ancilla and door jukes. And I missed what was on the Lumberjack. Well, it's rare to see that item be obtained, even if it is important, but we'll eventually see it on Malmo's. Oh, small key, okay, thank you, Haiku type. We definitely don't need that many small keys in this mode. There are a lot of ways to deal without having them, such as cave state dungeons or just deleting doors and a variety of other things that we can do. So, an advantage of checking the waterfall early like Malmo is that you won't get the dunk from getting a heart piece. But the downside is that you orphan Zora, which is usually ignored in this mode, but has been known to swing races. We're getting a quote-unquote new DMA from Chex. This is used in vanilla speedruns to rescue the old man without a glove. So, Malmo also doing the Sank start after visiting Zora is getting the mirror and bonk rocks. As I said before, it's a very useful item, so definitely something good to have. Chex getting roughed up a little on the mountain, as is typical of this Overworld screen. Looks like we're doing a graveyard ledge descent. I really like to go here early, but he already is full on bombs, so it's a little less important than it would normally be, but it's still a good thing to get out of the way. Like, a lot of times you will see runners do a lot of out-of-the-way checks early on, just to get them out of the way because they're one-offs, like the man under the bridge and the graveyard ledge, because if you don't check them, like, pretty soon, probably you're going to get distracted trying to accomplish other things, and you never will check them. Like, people have been known to leave hook shots on Hylia Island and other things like that that you definitely don't want to do. So Chex using the hula hand from the broken camera from descending the mountain to route to Link's house, and it looks like he is heading to Sahasrara. So this is a key sanity mode, and Abby, that was probably already obvious, but it's good to get your green pendant info and 3 quick checks here. Green pendant pod, that is, I think, kind of unfortunate because pod is one of the easiest dungeons to clear in this mode. Like, it really only requires bombs, hearts, and a weapon. Queen of Samaria in Sahasrara, that's personally my favorite item, and anyone who runs glitched vanilla will probably say it's the most broken item in the game. Very, very powerful item to have, and I can't imagine Malmo is going to miss that for too long, but the amount of things you can do with that item are pretty insane, from duplicating treasure chest contents by writing data flags onto other rooms, deleting doors, juking doors, and a variety of other things with Ancilla and misslotting as well. I think Chex is going to show us a door glitch in Mini Moldorm Cave. There's a shortcut, you can check the King's Tomb item as well from here. So Malmo following up right behind, not gonna check Sahasrara right away, but I have to imagine that she'll get there eventually. Alright, here's the door juke. Using bombs instead of Samaria, which is, well, because he doesn't have magic, but you could do it either way. And it gets it pretty quick. Did not see what the item was. I think that he didn't correct the camera enough for us to be able to see it, but I might have just missed it. That's so another struggle with this mode, and tracking this mode, so a big thanks to our tracker Solit for trying to deal with this the best that you can. So Chuck's showing us a common way to ascend the mountain with a Hera clip, and checking the first couple items, nothing really so far. I am Almo also going for the bomb juke. Alright, gets it. See if... also not giving us any camera to see the item, but I don't think it's anything important, but we'll see if it is, though, because they'll be using an item. Check's doing some more overworld glitches to cross the mountain and check items there, and now we're getting the Sahasrara visit from Malmo. Nothing on the floating island. We're gonna get everyone's favorite spiral cave, especially when you have no sword. At least they have blue armor, though. Like, that is a really nice early pickup. Though Chex is trying to be careful and gets ran into by the Moldorm anyway. Sometimes it just can't be helped. Yeah, these enemies are just not playing nice for Chex. Oh, a good heart drop, and makes it through. Just 10 arrows for the trouble. They're doing a little buffering there to read the enemy RNG. Okay, so Malmo is doing what's called mirror portal offset. And so by descending the mountain while in a screen-wrapped state, you were able to place a mirror portal several overworld super tiles lower, or I think it might be just one, but in any case, she placed a portal on the Hyrule Castle screen, and that will allow her to check the Pyramid Fairy location. Just doing a basic Death Mountain descent into a clip. This is a little shortcut to get to Hyrule Castle or Aga Tower from the north. And okay, I was wondering if she was really going in there. That's kind of an ambitious check to kill those 4 enemies with 5 bombs. Actually don't think it's possible with that amount, but nonetheless, going into an entrance like that will correct the camera, because it is a dungeon or connector type entrance. Big key to Eastern. I missed where that bow was. I'm guessing it was in the other part of Paradox, but bow is a good item. I mean, it's a weapon. Can make some things easier, and it's good for helping with certain glitches as well, depending on what other items you have. So an interesting property of playing Glitch A Link to the Past is that since the game only takes into account like what you enter into, like the dungeon-wise or entrance-wise, if it's a cave. So like right now, Chex is in a cave, but is doing a clip to get to Palace of Darkness. We call it Kiki Skip, and so the game still thinks that Chex is in a cave. So one of the results of that is that you have a lot of keys just because the game, for whatever reason, just assumes that you have them, because there aren't normally keys in caves. But another thing is that if Chex were to take that Eastern big key to another dungeon by traveling through Eastern with a glitch or a clip, you can use that big key in other dungeons. So routing can be kind of interesting that way. But right now, we're getting the Hyrule Castle play from Malmo. Small key to Swamp is good if they get flippers. I mean, otherwise it's possible to use that key, but difficult. But anyway, as I was saying, so about the cave state, so the Chex did a clip that wrapped the entire map of the underworld, so the sprites are despawned. That's why there are no enemies here right now. And unfortunately, unless I missed it, does not have a cave state big key though, which is one of the reasons people go to Hyrule Castle early in this mode, generally speaking, because the Hyrule Castle key can be used in a cave. So yeah, Chex deciding to leave Pod and go to Eastern instead after doing those front few checks. Getting another door juke here. This is to check the big key chest faster, and this is especially nice with the mirror, because you can get trapped in this room. Well, I suppose he could probably get out with the big key, but sometimes you get desynced from sprites and things don't work exactly the way they should. Oh, don't think Malmo got too much in Hyrule Castle, other than that Swamp Small might be helpful later. But the big key is important if they don't find another cave state big key. So getting a Dark Cross check from Malmo, which is... it's good to be thorough sometimes. There are other ways to do this check, but doing it like directly the normal way is fine. I like to do this check because there's some situations in a seed where you might end up checking this later anyway, during a process called Dungeon ID Swap, so you might as well check it early anyway. Oh hey, green potion in a bottle, that is a huge find. So some of the glitches, some of the most powerful glitches in this mode, involve using a potion, and you may have heard of this before. It's called Yuzuhara's Bottle Adventure, or YBA. And basically, when you use a potion on a screen transition or in a door transition, it can have a variety of effects. mainly, it can transport you to a different room or up data in such a way that you can do a wrong warp. So they could be used to travel around to places that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. And it can also do other things like copy data flags, like for chests and doors, like making them open or closed, however which way you want. You know, depending on like how the rooms are connected and what flags are set on those rooms already. Oh, it is the second bottle. Where was the first one? I'm sorry, I missed it. Well, anyway, the second two bottles are good to have. Two bottles in the mirror and the Cane Samaria. Those are some pretty powerful glitching tools. We just need some weapons and some stuff to go with them. But bottles are especially more helpful if the Moon Pearl never shows up. So we can do things like fake flutes to get the link state and bypass the need for Moon Pearl in the overworld. I don't know, it's good to just have more bottles, just in case. There are some YBAs that do require 2 or even 3 potions, or they can allow for extra routing flexibility or errors. So it's always good to have more bottles. Oh, right. It was on the pyramid. I did see that. Well, alright, so 3 known bottle locations. Pod is a very commonly checked location. Although Malmo may be slightly disinclined to go there, knowing that it's a pendant, but it is so easy to get those items in a glitched mode that she might go there anyway just for density. But yeah, we'll have to see. Though checks already getting a dungeon clear. Which is good for him. Only 100 rupees on Sick Kid, a bit disappointing. A common strategy of delaying going to Kakariko is so that you can try to full clear it all at once. In this case, it didn't quite work out, but certainly not required to go there immediately like you might be familiar with in a lot of like regular open seats. So to anyone in chat who might be wondering if no logic makes the game unbeatable, that is extremely unlikely. Just because of the amount of knowledge that has been discovered about the game in terms of glitches and the way things work. So, traditionally for competitive no logic, there has been a crystal boss's goal. And so, what that means is you have to collect the crystal and defeat the bosses, but those two things might not exactly happen at the same time. And the double rods is a preventative measure as well, because Trinex can be a problem, potentially. But it generally just makes the game go smoother and less tedious. We're getting a Samaria transition corruption from Malmo. This is going to take her to the Thieves' Town attic. And this also can be used to copy the item from the Desert Big Key chest onto this bomb chest as well. If you, assuming, you want to do that. And, okay, Ice Rod. We don't know if Turtle Rock is a crystal or not, but Ice Rod is still a good weapon to have. I mean, they don't have too much yet. And Almo doesn't even have the bow. Sorry, I was getting a little bit of freezing on the commentary stream. I don't know what that was about, but anyway. Seems to be okay now. So Malmo stole the key from Thieves' Town, and I mean there are other ways to get into this room that are not very difficult, but this is a very convenient way to do this. This is a pretty convenient route because you're not going to need that small key in Thieves Town because she already blew up the hole in the attic anyway, so there's no reason to go up there. Okay, we're getting another STC, so east ones are a little bit trickier. They require a lot more adjustment to get right, but this one, I'm guessing she's going to swamp, but there are a few other things you can do from this door. Yeah, this is a swamp play. Probably just to check a few items, I mean... Could do the boss, like, in theory, but... Argus does not require the hookshot if you break the camera, but... doesn't really have enough magic to do the kill. Well, I mean, she could have used a potion, actually, thinking about it, but that would have been a pretty aggressive and risky play, so I'm not surprised that she's not going for it. But with all those potions and the mirror, it was doable to reach the boss. Okay, so the Desert Small is on Bombo's tablet, which... I mean... Sometimes it's good to know about these things, because we can use keys in other dungeons. It might come in handy. There's a lot of routing flexibility. Passing on a full heart container, I mean... I guess a lot of really good racers do that, but that just surprised me a little bit. Like, it's right there. Ether in the back of escape for checks. Checks looks to be setting up a bomb juke, so this is a little more... Nah, okay, it decides against it. Those are auto doors and they're more difficult to juke, but it is certainly manageable. Oh, the GT Big, I missed that. Okay, see, that's kind of rude. That kind of annoys me when things like that happen. So the GT Big key is another cave state key, and it's, like, in the Hyrule Castle area. So, like, I mean, sometimes you can avoid going to the castle if you just get another key and just save time, because those checks are kind of slow, but for whatever reason, the game likes to group them around the castle sometimes, for whatever reason. Alright, so Malmo is going over to the east side of the mountain, going to get the bow and the eastern big. I'm not sure if there was anything else. Changes tactics. There's another... Oh, yeah, actually, this is interesting. Okay, so... setting up a bunny clip by placing a mirror portal. So this is a way you could do the overworld teleport glitch as a bunny by... you know, using the boots while you have the link state. So this will allow her to get a couple extra checks that we didn't see from Chex' side. So Chex looks to be setting up a fake flute. So this is an Overworld YBA that will bring up the flute menu. And, well, there are many results from doing this, but the main one is you get Super Bunny, and if you pull on a tree pull location with Super Bunny, it gives you a link state. Small key to Castle Tower is kind of interesting. But the link state only lasts until you enter and exit the underworld, so Chex will be a bunny if he continues the route here, but Hype Cave is a fairly, you know, common check, because it is density. A Meyer big key might come in handy. Chex does have 2 medallions, so might be able to open it eventually. A medallionless Meyer, if it is required, is kind of annoying. But if that's the case, the big key is useless. Ah, dang it, I missed it. Okay, I'm gonna look again on the restream. What was the red crystal? Was Desert and Tower of Hera. Okay. Those are pretty easy crystals to get. And Hera is a little bit slow if you don't have the hook shot to just climb to the top with, but it's really easy to just unlock the Hera door, like from Cave State or other things. So Chex is setting up a double juke right now. This is classic vanilla tech that used to be in the all bosses speedrun. This door is kind of annoying though. You gotta get pretty far in there to do it, at least for the first juke. So if you juke once, what juking means, I probably should have went over that, is that there's a way to get on the other side of the screen transition without triggering it. So you've juked the transition at that point. So when you approach it from the other side, the game does, it takes you to a different room that you wouldn't normally be able to go to. And so Chex getting the second juke has corrected the camera, but is still desynced from the sprites. So is unable to talk to the maiden, is unable to take damage or inflict damage on any enemies, but is able to open chests and unlock doors though. So we saw the Cave State pod, so this is one way to do Cave State Thieves Town. And Chex correctly remembering to not get the stair set glitch. Oh, so Meyer is a crystal. I mean, Meyer can be one of the more annoying dungeons to do, but Chex already has 2 medallions, so it might be fine, unless it's Quake, and they can't find Quake. Then it will become more time consuming. But okay, so meanwhile, Malmo is doing a mirror clip as a bunny to hop onto the Turtle Rock bridge. And then doing a little dungeon bunny revive that you may have seen in a Cross Keys race or something like that. Big key to Hera and Thieves Town for Chex. The more keys you have, I mean, they're just helpful. They speed things up. So Malmo's doing a North Samaria, copying the and opening it twice. So that's kind of like a party trick glitch. As you copy the contents of the Turtle Rock big key chest onto the big chest itself. And in this case, you can open it as many times as you want. So if that's like a sword or armor or like rupees or heart pieces or something, you can open it as many times as you want. Or even if it's just like a useful small key, you might want to get like 4 or whatever. Like if it was Turtle Rock, for convenience sake, although it would be unnecessary. It's something you could do. I maybe should have mentioned this earlier, because it's now becoming relevant with the more items they have. The powder that they have is... Oh, Moon Pearl and Chain Chomps. That's... I mean, we get that in HMG. That's not that crazy of a location, but it's certainly a good find. Kind of more of a speed boost than anything else. That makes it easier to get around. Oh, I love this strat. To freeze an enemy and throw it does tempered sword damage. Has to be careful not to get hit, but doing a good job of that. It wants to get the key and does so. So, as I was saying about the powder, it's an indexing item. It can be used to manipulate the Ancilla search index, which can be used for a lot of things, really. But in no glitches, you can use it for like splash deletion after like the Armos Knights fight. But in this case, we can do a variety of like much more powerful things, like Overworld Conveyor or potentially hook pushing if they get the hook shot. But they both have more than enough equipment right now to do Overworld Conveyor, which it can be very useful for certain things. I mean, less so for Malmo because she has the Moon Pearl, but it might come in handy. We'll see. So, Chuck's getting ready to do a Samaria blind fight, which, I mean, certainly it's manageable. So we're getting another North Samaria glitch from Malmo. In this case, it corrupts the transition, so she's able to check this room without using the fire rod and also more quickly. Big key to ice. So ice is one of those big keys that's just like a fetch quest, but you would rather have it than not if you're gonna go to the trouble of clearing Ice Palace. But some big keys are certainly a lot better than others. A nice fight from Chex. That was really cool. Okay, so now we're getting the Eastern play from Malmo. Getting a little shortcut here. We didn't see from Chex because Chex arrived by using the mirror, but this is classic Overworld glitch tech. Just a little shortcut there. And they're so spoiled having the mirror. Like, I usually do this door juke last because it just routes kind of weird if you don't have the mirror, but the mirror is just such a nice quality of life to have. So, Check's got the shovel, so we'll stay tuned to find out if that is important. The key to Swamp is another fetch quest key that may never see the light of day. Okay, so that's where Bombos was. It was in the Eastern Palace Big Key Chest. So, I mean, that is a weapon that could kill Cold Stare if they get a sword. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Chex hasn't done Kakariko at all, so this is efficient routing on his part. If the seed plays out like that, I do find that even though it's a small time save, just not actually walking into town, does save a little bit of time if you can, like, route through the Dark World. Because even without the mirror, it is possible to do a similar routing like that because of fake worlds, which is a phenomenon that happens because the Czechs traveled through the underworld to reach Thieves Town and did not go through a portal, or basically the game's value for what world he was in didn't change. So you might have caught it. He had to mirror twice actually to get to the light world because he was in the fake dark world. So if you don't have the mirror, you can screen transition back and forth, and he would have been on the same screen that he is now, like overworld-wise, like Kakariko Village. So they're just retracing each other's steps. Oh, thank you. Yes, the glove must have been in the maiden cell, I'm guessing, because I'm pretty sure Chex lifted up the rock first time. I could be mistaken on that, but the problem with doing that juke routing for Thieves Town is you kind of have to go through it twice because you have to leave to resync the sprites. So, I guess the big question, well, they need dungeon info, but they also really need swords. A Master Sword is like one of the only items that's actually 100% required, and a Fire Sword's for Ganon as well. So, if Trinex is a pendant, then the Fire Rod is not going to be required, even if, regardless of Skullwoods or Ice Palace. We're getting a nice little clip from Chex to check Magic Bat. Not sure if we saw that on Malmo's side, but it's a little screen wrap you can do to fall in the hole without using the hammer or the mirror. Okay, so Malmo gets a crystal from Eastern. So, still the one dungeon behind Chex, but still moving. It's fairly early on still. I mean, I don't know, these seeds are just so high variance. So, like, I've seen sub-hour seeds with double rods, but sometimes they can drag on and on depending on, you know, however the seed rolls. So, definitely would not count Malmo out of the race yet. Hey, Malmo, having a little trouble. This clip she's doing can be kind of annoying, but this is setting up to clip to pod. Oh, did Chex just get Quake off of the shovel, or was that the Magic Bat? Well, anyways, so Chex is going to Desert, and we've seen the front of Pod already from Chex, so we know there's a bottle here. Which is gonna show up as rupees to Malmo. Maybe I'm mistaken. I apologize if I'm getting mixed up already, but I thought that the shovel was in the chest game. Uh, Alright, we're getting a bomb clip from Chex. This is one of the many ways to break into Desert. Well, it has the book, but I mean, the book is kind of slow, and you can get a lot of grief from other people in the glitch community if you know, do things too normally, so definitely want to do the bomb clip there. Getting a swordless Dark Mace from Malmo is certainly not my favorite thing to do, but who's gonna turn down items? Okay, so Chex, instead of stealing the Thieves' Town key, is setting up a quadrant glitch. This is gonna allow him to reach the right side of Desert without using a key. By taking damage on like a pretty precise pixel, like basically on a borderline that divides the screen in half. They desynced some values in the game that allowed the transition to become unstable, and he was able to get through the key door without opening it. So Chex is trying to set up a glitch Blockbuster and gets the first step by doing a precise mirror block erase. Basically, you can store a block that you have. Yeah, I don't think this works if you go that way. Yeah. So, anyways, the goal of all of this is to check the hammerbags location from the checkerboard cave location. Okay, so that is a blockbuster right there. I actually don't know how that one works fully, or how to execute it, but there you have it, folks. Very well done by Chex. Big Key of Thieves Town. I mean, not super useful, but it is another one of those cave keys, which would have been useful earlier. I mean, sometimes we will do other dungeons using the Thieves Town key, but not usually. Okay, so Malmo's setting up a mirror wrap. This is another kind of transition corruption. And this is going to take her to Laser Bridge. I do like this play. The Laser Bridge is a quick 4 items, and she can take the ride to the Crystal Roller Room too if she wants to. Okay, first sword. A little unhappy with taking that long to get the sword, it was my guess. Meanwhile, Chex is setting up another Samaria transition corruption, but... So a side effect of some of those corruptions is they create invisible holes in the ground. So he's setting up a glitch called Death Hole, which is a precisely timed death, which will have various effects on the game. In this case, it's a shortcut to the Argus boss arena from Desert. So Malmo did a Samaria to duplicate the contents of this room, so getting another sword. Meanwhile, Chex is showing how to fight Argus without using the hookshot by manipulating the camera to despawn the puffs. That was a pretty clean fight from what I saw, trying to watch both screens. So it gets the desert... This is a desert crystal, even though Argus is killed, so... Yeah, I don't know how you would mark that on the tracker, I'm sorry. But maybe if other Tom is in chat, he can tell you the way that he would track no logic. I don't remember what you're supposed to do, but in any case, it is a crystal. And if Swamp itself is a crystal, that crystal will have to be obtained later. But the reason it was the Desert Crystal is because Chex used a glitch from Desert to reach the Argus boss arena. So as far as the game is concerned, Chex did not even enter Swamp. So Malmo going back to Pod, it looks like. Several reasons you could do this. I am surprised she didn't dupe the sword again. I mean, it doesn't take that long when you have the mirror, but... And the difference between Tempered and Master Sword is pretty massive. Oh, we're getting another mirror wrap on Chex's side. This is the Stumpy mirror wrap. So, camera is definitely way out of whack right now, but can use this to obtain the Stumpy item, which is a map of Swamp. Okay, that could be useful information, just because we didn't already know that before. So Super Bunny from the map. You're gonna use that to get a link state from the look of it here. Malmo into Pod, looking to check the Boak side. Okay, so Chex does the pull off the statue, gets the link state, but the question is, what is he going to do with it, though? Okay, so Malmo, I'm guessing... Okay, I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she had a little issue in the maze and saved and quit out and didn't get to finish these checks, would be my guess. Not sure why she's coming back here again. Okay, yeah, that must have been the case, which is unfortunate, but... And maybe she'll find something, because Chex hasn't been back here yet. Or may never at all, actually. So, Check's still having the text from the death hole glitch, just kind of amusing. Probably will persist until he saves and quits, but we'll see. My shed, 2 heart pieces. Did he check the medallion? Or no, he has all 3 medallions. He doesn't need to check it. Well, that kind of deprives us of knowledge. Okay, so Malmo must have missed a check here and is going back in for it. Map of this dungeon, she already knows is the green pendant. This game loves to rub it in your face when you're wasting time, that's for sure. Okay, so she's setting up a glitch called statue drag to Helmasaur. And so by storing this statue pulling animation, that allows us to juke this south transition. Sorry, I was having a little issue on the commentary feed. I hope it's not on the regular stream. Sorry, I don't know what is causing that. I apologize for technical difficulties. I don't know if we can get someone... thank you to whoever fixed that. Appreciate it. Alright, now we're getting some checks audio. So anyways, about what Malmo was doing. So there was another kind of a door juke, but this is kind of a special one, using the statue pulling animation. So once you get on the other side of the transition, you can manipulate the camera in a very specific way. And it takes you to the Helmasaur boss room. And that was a nice fight. Green pendant of unknown value, but you never know. Alright, so I wonder if Chex is gonna do Zora, because Malmo has pretty hard orphaned that, if it is anything good. Going right away for the green pendant, not that surprising on Malmo's side. Okay, nothing on Zora, just 20 rupees. Lamp! Oh my god, Lamp. So Lamp is a pretty big find, not just because of its intended purpose, but it is the easiest way to do misslotting glitches, such as hook pushing and overworld conveyor, which they may not have the hook shot and may not ever find it, but this lamp is also their first fire source, which is going to be required for Ganon, if nothing else. So that's a huge find, but Chex may be right behind her going to get that lamp, because making another visit to Pod here, there are a lot of things you could do here, but they might be going for the boss. So Malmo buying a bunch of potions and getting some bombs from the mushroom turn-in. Okay, so Chex is going to clean up the back of Pod, since he left it behind before. And the reason why he left this before, I'm guessing, is because he did not have the Cave State Big Key at the time, but was still able to route to Eastern using the mirror. Did a nice 2-bomb strat on the hammer jump there. Where's Malmo going? Oh, Magic Bat. I'm a little bit surprised. This is, I don't know, I am kind of used to seeing her play HMG more than No Logic, but although she does play both, I'm just a little bit surprised at the thoroughness here, unless she's happens to be in town for something else as well. The No Logic is typically a mode that doesn't burn you as hard for skipping things, because you're not, like, ever railroaded or forced to do things. Like, generally people that play this mode have enough knowledge to kind of break through the game in whatever way they have to. Like, you're obviously going to check things on the way if you know, have a lot of items out there that still could be potentially helpful, but it's like we're having a little bit of an indecision here. Which is, you know, it's kind of a thing about glitched modes. There's so much freedom, and if you're playing like a regular open seed, the game kind of forces you to do whatever it wants you to do, which is never the case in No Logic. Probably gonna get the Argus play from Malmo as well here. Yeah, damaging down. And correctly damaging down to half a heart, by the way. That's worth mentioning, because your bomb does less damage to you with blue mail. So we saw this from checks, but we're going to see it again. By setting up a bonk with the bomb timer. Oop, little mistake there, but not a big deal. When you get 1.0'd by the bomb like this, it causes the death hole glitch. And for those of you that aren't familiar, in the 1.0 version of the game, you can still take damage, like you have an active hitbox while you're falling into a pit. And this was corrected in like later versions of the game, but in this case, it's very useful. That was a nice... Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I was gonna say that was a really nice setup to get the puffs off screen, but she got the unlucky shampoo, as I've heard it called, for sometimes. Or those puffs just, like, don't want to leave you alone. She took quite a bit of damage there, but came prepared with lots of hearts, so worked out fine in the end. We're getting a auto door bomb juke from checks. This is gonna go to Hookshot Cave if he gets it done, but he has plenty of bombs, so it shouldn't be an issue. Well, Malmo also picking up that desert crystal off of Argus. So mirroring from the fake Dark World to the real Light World, that was an example of what I was trying to explain earlier. As if she had transitioned the screen without doing that mirror, she would have been in the Light World, and that is not where she wants to be right now. Because from the looks of it, she's wanting to do checks. Okay, so we get... Okay, well, apparently we already knew that, and I missed it. Turtle Rock being a crystal means that Fire Rod is going to be needed. So there's 2 of them out there at large, but... I mean, they can still be in terrible places. It's certainly not unheard of. Oh look, it's Hype Cave, which wasn't too hype this time. Yeah, responding to a comment in chat, yeah, I don't know why they call it that, but when the puffs come back after despawning, and if you have a Phase 2 Argus with puffs, I've heard people call it shampoo before. I don't know why, but it's just what they say. Alright, so Chex got the juke, which causes a lot of funny things. I mean, I've seen it before, although I missed him doing it, but there were some funny motions on his screen. Oh no, he didn't get it. I'm confused. I must have missed it, why he left and came back. Okay, well, okay, this time he for sure got it. Oh, eventually this is going to take him to Hookshot Cave. So by doing the door juke, he's like totally like desynced from the camera, or you know, I'm actually not 100% sure how to explain this, but because he's not transitioning left or right, he's able to take the transition that he just juked, and it's going to move him over on the Underworld map to Hookshot Cave. And yeah, you can see how he's desynced from the sprites because he's in the juked state. And this only works because Pod allows you to retrace your steps to this room without doing the east-west transition. Oh, now he's gonna, like, do the wobble to correct the camera. Okay, Malmo's showing us that it is Ether for Meyer. Where was that? Maybe it must have been Thieves Town. And it's surely it must have been somewhere that Chex went that Malmo didn't, obviously. But I don't know if we saw. Oh yeah, no, because Malmo can't hover. So the second ice rod in Hookshot Cave. Alright. Check's on point with the hovering today. Hovering is one of those things, you know, I can't really complain about it because it's this mode, but yeah, hovering sucks if you can't do it. Yeah, I don't know why they're not going to GT. I mean, some people really want to have the convenience factor of having the hammer, but you don't actually need the hammer to do a lot of those checks, depending on how you route it. Like, there's a couple that are fairly difficult to get to, like the Fire Snake room, or like the map chest you might probably end up leaving behind, but I don't know, checks might be going to GT right now. There is a YBA potion glitch. Yeah, Chex is going to show us some GT. So this is going to take us to the Ice Armos fight, but because of the tile set discrepancy from Cave State, this is actually going to be the Water Armos, and that's not just a visual difference. The physics are very different on this fight, and if you are doing this without a lot of hearts or weapons, it's a lot more dangerous because of the way they recoil. Okay, very nice. It's worth mentioning that those potion glitches and mirror wraps, things like that, are like frame perfect. You have to drink the potion on the exact same frame or hit the mirror the same frame as the transition if it's the mirror wrap glitch or a mirror door glitch. So good on these runners for, you know, bringing their A game today. Okay, unfortunately the items are invisible because of the glitchiness that was used to get here, but not taking the heart container. So you get a free heart from GT Boss, and I personally like it because I'm not as good as Chex, so I don't want to die, but Chex is leaving it behind. But if for some reason he has to come back through here, which is, like, I've seen people accidentally blow up the hole, or, you know, other such silliness can happen. You have to do the fight again if you if you go in there. GT small in GT. That would have been disastrous if this was an older version of the randomizer. Okay, a nice little Samaria to get to Rando room. Yeah, saves and quits out. Probably a good decision for time's sake. If he had used a potion to get to Rando room instead of the Samaria, he could have kept the transition stable and checked more of GT, but When you are skipping items to do certain checks, it can be definitely slower than normal. So Malmo getting trolled by the beetle during the Samaria corruption. And yeah, this is what I was talking about, where the Samaria glitch creates holes that you can't see, so she's fortunate that in this case those holes are not like warp holes. They're just damage holes, but a lot of them are warp holes, like depending on what room you're in, so not disastrous, it's just a very slight time loss. But yeah, so that glitch copied the contents of the big key chest of Skullwoods onto the, like, whatever that chest is called, the pit room chest. Oh, Check's going back to GT after all, so that's what's called a citrus clip, and, I mean, normally it would be a bunny citrus, but for whatever reason, this sprite has a Moblin as a bunny, so, you know, that's what it is, but yeah. So, using select buffers to manipulate movement, it could do an overworld clip that way, and in this case, it's a screen wrap that takes you to the top of the screen so you can get in the door, and then a bunny revive, and we're back in. So I'm curious to see what Chex is going to do with this, because they're a nice flute. So you can juke this door to do checks. I mean, there are a variety of ways, I think, to get more items out of this place without having necessarily the proper items, but we'll have to see what Chex wants to do here. Malmo going to the Uncle Passage, so this is a Thieves Town play, like 99% sure. Yeah. Shooting the ice rod to lower the magic level and allow her to use a green potion. So when Chex did this, he did a double juke, which is a little slower because you gotta run in and out, but is conservative on resources. Or at least money and potion wise, it doesn't conserve bombs. But yeah, this door, and I used to hate this door, I still kind of do, but you can see Malmo's having a little bit of trouble getting on the pixel because it's just a deep door. Alright, Chex setting up probably just a door juke, or, I mean, it could be a Samaria, I'm not sure. Yeah, you have the option of doing either. Okay, just juking. Okay, so his camera is totally gone now, but he's hovering in the, they call it Spike Skip Room, if anyone here is familiar with the NMG room names. It's the one you normally use the hook shot to get down to with the Stalfos on the bottom and the spike. And these are actually the Dark Magician Room checks, or Stalfos Room, whatever you want to call that. Fortunately has mirror because getting out of that room is not gonna happen. Like, if he had a sword, he would have been able to, because Bombos is actually the only way you can kill the enemy with a desynced camera, but not gonna be the case today. But Malmo doing a glitch called LSD Blind, which keeps the door open, and the point of that is, when you kill a boss, you don't want to get trapped in the room because she's doing a cave state fight, which means she has no dungeon ID, so no prize is going to drop when she kills the boss, like you see. So by killing the boss and then exiting, she can go in and out of the dungeon and then go back in, and the prize will fall from the ceiling. So this does save a little bit of time over what we saw Chex do, because Chex had to reroute the entire dungeon to run, like, the maiden up to the room. Man, I just missed all those checks. I apologize. So if anyone was ever wondering at home, the commentary is harder than it sounds. Pay attention and talk. Like, who could do that? Oh, he got the fire rod. Wow, okay, wow. Okay, so Chex is in Sword Go mode, like, I mean, he might be checking other things after getting his Master Sword if he finds it, but like when he finds it rather, but they would just be like quality of life. Honestly, with the mirror and the bottles and Samaria and the rods. Oh wait, the hook shot was there too? Oh, I apologize. I missed all that good stuff. Okay, well, Chex doesn't have the lamp that Malmo has, but is still able to, you know, use the powder and the silver arrows to do hook pushing, or I don't know. There's so many setups nowadays. I don't know. Link's items are kind of your oyster once you start learning the misslotting glitches. So if I know a few different ways to set up a push, I'm sure Chex knows those ways and more. So hook pushing, bottles, yeah. Samaria. Chex just needs to go to Turtle Rock and get that sword. Maybe also worth mentioning that there are 6 people in this race, and the only sword, we've only seen one sword, and presumably one fire rod, which is hard to tell because of getting items with bad camera, but I'm gonna assume that there was only one fire rod in GT, just because it seems more likely that that was the case, but who knows. Okay, so Amalmo into Mire with the Moon Pearl and Ether, just a luxurious normal stroll over there to open it. Sometimes it is quite the hassle to get to Mire. So I think we're about to see Chex also make a Mire play, but doesn't have the Moon Pearl, so it's gonna have to do a YBA potion glitch to get there. Or actually, well, could hook push, but without the lamp, hook pushing is kind of annoying. So yeah, bomb yourself into the door to get onto the pixel. Okay, gets the glitch. In my, or not leaving to open it is interesting. Oh, wait, right. No, but he has Mire Big Key. I'm a little bit surprised. He could have went out the door and opened it, because you don't need the Moon Pearl for this, because he would have been in the fake world. But, I don't know, maybe I'll have to ask him about it, or maybe there could be just something I'm forgetting. Maybe forgot he has the Mire Big. I don't know. Racing is hard, people. For those that have never tried it, it's quite stressful. Even though it can be a lot of fun, though. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's totally correct. Thank you, chat, for keeping me corrected here. Yeah, you can't open it with no sword. Yep. Yeah, that's quite the conundrum, this no sword. Yeah, it seems so obvious. Malmo using cape strats against Vitreous. Totally understandable. This fight can get out of hand. Doesn't have the heavy artillery, silver arrows like Chex. Okay, so Malmo's gaining ground on Chex for having the crystal, or getting the Mire crystal. It's not marked, but I think she went back into Thieves Town to pick that up. I might have missed it. She might not have, but... Oh, hey. Another fire rod. Well, Malmo's about to get that too, so... I don't know, things are starting to really look up for Malmo here. Check's... just not having a sword is... was able to get a lot done without it, but at some point you just gotta have it. ATR big, that saves time. Like, certainly not required, but it's very convenient to have. And Malmo might choose to skip that when she gets her fire rod. We'll have to see if she starts go-moding aggressively. Yeah, she's leaving. She's not gonna get the TR big unless she already got it on the first pass and I missed it. Oh, nope. Indecision. Yeah, it's really hard to make these decisions. She probably thinks there's a lot of items out there that could help her. Swords, silver arrows, hookshot, more big keys. Alright, gets frustrated with the rail clip and just decides to leave anyway. Yeah, I mean... that's... you know... certainly, defensible. Alright, going after Lamolas. Okay, so this is required to do this, even though she already has the Desert Crystal. It's, and there are, like, some people that play no logic casually that do not enforce the bosses, but, competitive no logic usually is like a, you know, an honor system where you have to kill the crystal bosses. So even though Ganon might not technically require this, you know, you're supposed to do it. Even though she already got the crystal from Argus. Alright, so the reason she's taking this specific path through the dungeon is because, by loading another super tile inside the dungeon and then going to this one, she eliminated the fade transition from the stairs. So what that does is it allows her to do this potion glitch, which is going to be a spin YBA, which is a little trickier to execute than normal. But anyways, if she didn't eliminate that like fade transition from the stairs, it would have caused graphical corruption, called VRAM corruption, which is cool to see, but I mean, there's definitely advantages to not having it. So that was why she went to the next, like, the tile room and then all the way back. And gets the fight done. Alright, so Check's beating Vitreous, but still in Eastern State. Is trapped in the room, has to save and quit because no prize to warp him out. And this seat's getting kind of silly if there's really no other swords. Like, I mean, they have to be somewhere, but Malmo only has 2 swords because she duped the 1 sword, so. And Chex certainly knows how to do that as well, it just has to find it on Laser Bridge first. Oh no, Chex. I hope this just is for taking a break, because, oh man. This is some desperation. Oh man, I feel pain for Chex right now. This is not something that you usually ever see in No Logic. So, no, we do not need mitts, to answer question, chat. The reason we don't need mitts is because, well, gloves don't really lock that much of the game if you're familiar with overworld glitches. There are a variety of ways to glitch to cold stairs, so we can bypass the glove and hammer requirement for that. Okay, alright, interesting. So checks resetting to save the key. So that Hera key can be used in other places, usually swamp, but it can be used in other places. So that was why he reset the check. But anyway. Yeah, so Mitts, like, their Dark World access, they're getting there, like, through glitches and going through other dungeons, or just, like, jumping off the mountain. I mean, they have one glove, so that makes it... So they can use some of the portals, even the ones that are hammer blocked, by clipping out if they want to. But yeah, the mitts are a luxury item in this mode, definitely. I certainly don't hardlock anything. And yeah, I did see Malmo do the LSD blind, but I'm not sure if she went back in to get the prize or not. I would think that the natural thing to do would be to do that, but I just missed it. I assume that she did, but I'm not sure. Okay, going back to Turtle Rock. Okay, so we're getting a dash citrus. This is a clip. That's just the name for the clip, like that style of clip that he did, and so now we're in swamp. So this is what he was saving the key for, to open that door. And yeah, thanks to Specky for that clip. You used to have to hook push past that rail. Or get the flippers, or do clippers, or some other kind of glitch. Just a Malmo dupe the sword again. But not going for Shrine X. I mean, she doesn't have the big key, but like, it is certainly doable, just depending on how she wants to do it. And like, there's a way to do it with 2 potions. You can use Samaria to delete the door, although that would have required some prior setup. Okay, so this is the shopping. Doing a nice little water walk setup. We're gonna get the potions, plan the next move, and then checks. Gonna go into left side swamp. Actually, not sure what his plan for this is. Unless he just has flippers and we missed it because of all those items that, you know, were not visible because of, like, camera desync or other things, but I guess we're about to find out. And he does not have the flippers, and that may have been news for checks. Maybe in a bit of a frantic scramble. Okay, so this is one of those bomb clips I was talking about, and we saw this from checks in the desert area before. I'm pretty sure it was checks. So yep, see, hammer totally not needed to use that portal. Oh, Malmo. So this is an ice play from Malmo. She's gonna clip out of bounds here and set up a mirror wrap, like the one we saw for Turtle Rock. And checks did to get the Stumpy item. The classic vanilla tech. Also, we're gonna skip a couple rooms here with a nice bomb clip. Because, honestly, ice is horrible, so why would you not want to skip some of it? I see. Chex. Oh, okay, so Chex is giving us some brand new tech. I mean, like, this is like a few days brand new tech. Let's see if we can pull it off. So this is a way to get to Argus with no flippers. So you saw, he did a splash delete. So he has to do a few jukes, which is basically gonna, okay, maybe not, maybe he's not, maybe changed his mind, not going for it. Oh, he forgot the key. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, no. Dang, that was gonna be really cool, but I watched the video. I didn't, like, practice it or actually learn it, but I think it requires 2 keys, and that was the problem. Oh, what a tragedy. By flippers in Ice Palace? Oh, gee. Interesting. Malmo just making the plays here. Yeah, that is unfortunate. There's some door juking and camera manipulation that was literally discovered like a few days ago by one of our favorite glitch hunters, Taj. So, but because Chex already did the thing with the water, I'm pretty sure that means you can't do it at all now. You get one shot at the trick and that's it. And it requires 2 keys to do it, because you have to open the back door and the other door that before Argus that you normally use the Phelps key for. Oh, Chex is setting up a fake flute. Getting a little grief from the enemies. Malmo did a spin YBA to get to Cold Stare without using hammer or glove. It's the same glitch we saw in Desert to get to Landmos. So that flipper find is gonna make Malmo's Swamp Crystal acquisition like very straightforward now. Alright, so let's see where Chex is going. I was hoping he was gonna climb them out and then go to TR, because we know there's a sword there, but we haven't seen these Skullwoods Chex, so there could be... Or no, Malmo was here earlier. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think there's a sword here. Chex had a really good start on this seed, but just not having luck with the swords. Okay, so this has to be the TR play from Malmo. Go for quadruple dip TR. The first time to get the Moon Pearl. Second time to get 2 swords. Third time to get another sword. Fourth time to get the boss. I mean, at least we have shortcuts, right? And I don't mean to criticize these runners at all, because these are really hard decisions to make. And I don't blame her for going back to get another sword. I was surprised that she didn't just get tempered the first time. Alright, so this is the double YBA to try next, and this is notoriously obnoxious. You can see how, yeah, the screen is totally not representing the ground she was standing on. You have to memorize the path to walk. And this YBA, well, very nice. That was quick, and it was perfect. Some YBAs, when you execute them, or if you miss it, you just go through the door and try again. That one, there's no retrying that one. You fall in a pit, and you respawn on top of a pit, so you're just stuck. Unless you can do like a frame-perfect mirror. But yeah, they're really nicely done by Malmo. Making it look easy. Gonna clean up our goofy-looking Trinex with the Randomizer head colors. And the orange tail. So, Malmo looking to finish pretty soon here, because climbing GT in this mode is, well, let's just say, if you're climbing GT, things have not gone according to plan. And there are a variety of wrong warps that we can use to reach Aga 2, and a couple of them can be done directly from the front of Turtle Rock. Yeah, she's making me nervous. Why are you saving and quitting? Yeah, I don't know what she's doing. Huh. Oh, getting a reset from checks. I think that was scumming keys, but I'm not sure. Oh, he crashed? Oh no. I mean, I don't think there was anything in Skullwoods like super important, but that's still super unfortunate. I have no idea when he last saved. Ugh, that's really unfortunate. I don't know what kind of hardware Chex is using. If it's because I know Super NT tends to have trouble with a lot of glitches, but I don't know. That's really unfortunate for Chex. Alright, so Malmo probably, I don't know, getting a potion for safety, I guess? Or I don't know, maybe she just, I don't know. I shouldn't assume that everyone knows everything, because I certainly don't, but there's a quadrant glitch and Samaria transition corruption you can use from the front to get to Agatu, but she wants to do it the potion way. This works too, as to use one potion to skip the big key. And then this is actually the warp. There was a Samaria warp that could have been done as well, but yeah, I mean, this works too. It actually doesn't require camera correction either, which is a nice little thing. And yeah, so we're here at Agatu. No need to climb any, you know, obnoxious towers. Alright, gets the kill. It's like Malmo maybe decides not to do it. There's a clip to go out of bounds. It saves a little bit of time, and I don't know, I personally like it for swag, but decides against it. That's crazy. I mean, I think there must have been a sword in ice, but unless she did dupe the sword 3 times instead of just twice. But yeah, sometimes C's get annoying like this. Kind of swung the race, just because the swords were really poorly distributed, but it kind of happens sometimes. Chex is about to get the news on the sword. But honestly, it didn't have too much incentive to try to come here sooner, with not having a moon pearl. I mean, certainly possible, but it's to be kind of annoying. Or slow, at the very least. Oh, Malmo into phase 4 of the Ganon fight. Chex is copying the sword, or setting it up. At least I think he was. Alright, nice kill from Malmo. Get your GGs in chat. Oh, the sword was on Trinex. Thank you for that. And Malmo has finished first with an official race time GG of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 43 seconds. A very impressive showing. I'm sorry, Malmo. Let me see if I can do something about that. One second. Hello.
Hello.
GG. Congratulations.
Thanks. This is my first win in a while.
And that was quite the route that you hit there, and good execution to back it up. What do you think?
I don't ask me why I YBA'd to Aga 2 when I had the cane.
Yeah.
The reason was that when I do the YBA to Trinex, it put me in the mindset of I don't have cane, and how the heck am I going to get to Aga 2? So I wasted 3 minutes buying a potion and doing 2018 strats.
Yeah, I mean, you know, racing is stressful, and certainly no one's perfect. I don't blame you. Everyone has forgotten things in the heat of the moment before. I mean, I was wondering about that. At first, I thought you wanted it for safety, and I was like, no, I don't know.
My gold sword, blue mail Ganon.
Yeah.
By the way, all my swords from TR. I don't know where any of the other swords were. I only found those 2.
Yeah, we did not see them on Chex's side, and Chex has had quite an unfortunate time of this seed.
Well, he didn't get the pearl. I think the pearl was really very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, Chex, I think, had maybe a bit of an early lead, even though it's kind of hard to tell. It, like, had a dungeon lead on you, but then started falling behind. Like, went to Meyer, actually defeated Vidi, but did not have a sword to open the dungeon. Chex also had a crash. I'm not sure what happened there. Chex just having all kinds of issues, which is unfortunate, but I guess it just happens sometimes.
Trying to think of what we did to crash. Was it Samaria related or just random?
I actually missed it because, sorry, not great attention, but he was in Skullwoods. It probably was Samaria related.
There's been some talk about VRAM glitches crashing on the new version of the randomizer for like everyone, not just NT players. I did one non-VRAM Samaria that I knew would crash my MSU, which is a little risky because I didn't actually know what the conditions were for crashing.
Yeah, I've done a few seeds casually recently, and I did not have any issues with VRAM, but I mean, you know, I play an emulator, and
well, so does Tam. That's what made me chill a little. Is hearing that it happened to Tam on SNES 9X, which is what I play on. Back of Skull is an interesting choice. Isn't Chex in Go mode?
Maybe Chex like did not get the info on the prizes. That would
Oh,
be
the
my
tracker's
guess.
marking based on my knowledge, not his. That makes sense. Chex doesn't
Yeah,
even mark his own tracker. He
yeah.
probably doesn't know. He doesn't have any. I only knew this because I did Thieves Town and it was complete process of elimination. Which possibly he doesn't know Hera because I didn't find that map. I had to talk to the bomb shop.
That was a little sad for Chex because on top
Ooh.
of all this misfortune,
Sorry, that was a beautiful fight.
it was a really good fight. But I don't know if you saw Tajto posting the new setup for Flipperless Arias on Discord. Well, Chex went for it, but I think he forgot one of the keys or something went wrong.
Oh
And
yeah.
then he just couldn't do it, and he had the setup for it, but
Well,
then yeah. So I was like, oh man, that would have been really cool
he
to
didn't
show
have
the brand
to.
new stuff.
It was cool that he showed that he didn't have to do it because it's he has the cane and it's a pendant, so he was definitely doing it for us.
He had already killed Argus, but may not have had the info. I'm not sure what Chex knows and what he doesn't. I've been kind of struggling to keep track of all this with solo comms.
I'll definitely have to watch it back.
Yeah,
It's like Tam finished.
GG to Tam.
How about the Ice Palace with the mitts and the flippers? That was hilarious.
Yeah, the game definitely has a sense of humor, that's for sure.
Completely useless to me. I was like, I'll open these. They might be like a marginally useful hook shot. Honestly, like I was just hoping that the hook shot or TR Big Key would show up for TR, but like I didn't really need it.
So Chex did like a kind of a, I don't know, he didn't like full clear it, but he did most of the stuff in GT in the bottom, and he got hookshot, silver arrows, one of the fire rods.
Ooh. Oh, he has the hook shot. But he doesn't have the lamp because that was also stupidly lucky that I just did my usual over clearing and turning the green pendant for a lamp. That was... I guess it was... I used it for dark rooms. I didn't use it for anything else.
Yeah, well,
I did a torch glitch. It was really good for torch glitch, which I almost missed, by the way. By facing the wrong way. Don't worry about it. You don't have to be a good NMG runner to like win no logic races.
Yeah, I can definitely say that's true. I've won races before, and I'm pretty clumsy at general execution in this game. But Chex would have really wanted to have that lamp, not having the Moon Pearl. I could have done Overworld Conveyor and hook pushing.
He still can, but it's a pain in the butt.
Oh, it's slower.
He can do one at a time. You can do some like low index stuff with the silver arrows, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
I hope he got to show off some good hook pushes, because I didn't get to, but I got to do a lot of other really cool stuff with the cane. Pretty happy about that. Duping the sword, I think everyone probably did that.
Yeah, because where were the other two? Unfortunately, Chex did not really show off any hook pushing, unless I missed it, but yeah, there is the fairly easy setup, the silver arrows, and I'm sure Chex knows his own setups, but like with the way he was routing, it like didn't call for it. He probably felt it was faster to do the YBAs, or I'm sure he had a reason.
Looking at his remaining dungeons, I don't even see anywhere where the hook shot would help outside of Hera Pot.
Okay, so the TR Big Key was in the Meyer Big Chest, and you got frustrated and left.
Oh no, I was so close to that. I was gonna do more over clearing, and then I said like, no, what am I doing here? I'm missing the stupid stair launch over and over again. And
yeah, I thought you were gonna get it, but then you.
It's fine. I got to like drink 20 potions. By the way, the race room was called like, what was the race room called?
Jolly Potion Shop. Very appropriate.
Very happy potion shop. Lots of business from me. I even bought from the Paradox shop to do a glitch I didn't need to do.
Yeah, that was a really nice Trinex double YBA. It was quick and it was good. And all those spin YBAs too, which I hate doing spin YBAs because it's like an awkward like procedure.
I don't think I missed. I don't think I missed
Yeah.
any YBAs. I did one where I like had full health and had to go back through the door again. A lot of going back through doors, but I didn't miss any, which is good. At least none that
Yeah.
mattered. Usually I miss lots of them.
But what is your technique, like physically, like ergonomically, for doing
Two
this?
thumbs and pray. I
I
have no excuse. I two thumb it, which you shouldn't do. Don't two thumb YBAs like me. You'll be miserable.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to do it because no one really taught me. I just put like my middle finger on the sword and then I hit the Y button with my pointer finger.
It's like I think people use a similar grip that they use for boots clipping, where they'll like turn their controller sideways. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't turn my controller sideways for boots clipping, so that wouldn't work for me.
Fair
And I
enough.
couldn't even begin to imagine how I would spin YBA because I do this thing where I like roll my thumb onto the button and off the other one, and it's a smooth motion. And I never miss the spin part, but I do miss the YBA because it's a two-handed YBA, which is completely inadvisable.
You know, I do all of mine with two hands because I trust it more. I don't know. It also depends on your controller. Some of them are like hard to do depending on like how like tall your buttons are and stuff like that. Like the action on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I have lots of action on my controller. It's the 8-bit though. It's really bad for hovering, but good for clipping. I'm just gonna plug the No Logic Mentor Tournament while I'm here. It's
Yeah,
gonna
feel
be
free.
in around February, after the Cross Keys Mentor Tournament is over. We're gonna run a Mentor Tournament for this mode. It does require that you have the ability to play your own HMG seeds, but it's not too hard to learn that on your own or to ask for help. You have plenty of time. So if anyone's interested in that, all these glitches that we did, you'll get to learn them. They're not that hard. As much as we talk about them, like they're hard, they're each individual one is not really any harder than the stuff you're already doing.
Yeah.
Oh, Chuck says magic. You've refilled. I love when you try to get rid of magic with the can and you just refill it.
Yeah, especially for Chex, because he probably has like some muscle memory for that mash from the runs that he does in vanilla. He probably does it on accident.
Chex never misses YBAs. So if you want to ask somebody how they do their YBAs, ask him.
Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, you know I've always looked up to Chex. He's just a really, really good player. But just to, like, on what you said, yeah, if you do want to learn more about this game, it would be a great way to do it. It is a lot of fun. Like, it does require practice, like, and routing is a challenge, but certainly it's doable if you want to do it. No, it's a lot of fun. This is personally my favorite mode because I don't like getting shoehorned into like doing some obnoxious like check, which always happens to me when I play like a regular seed.
When you get shoehorned and no logic because you're like stuck, it feels like it's not the seed screwing you over, but like you could learn things and then prevent that from happening in future seeds, which is usually true. So feeling like the game is a little bit more in your control than in Rando Seed, where logic just tells you where to go, and if you go the wrong place, you're losing 2 minutes for no reason. I think a lot of people find that appealing. You're very much in charge of your own destiny in no logic.
Yeah,
This is an interesting fishbone room play. So I think what I should have done, if I was actually using my brain, what I should have done was I should have gone to Meyer and continued to open the Trinex door from Meyer, which you can do on the same place where the Trinex big key door happened to be, or the big key was. Should have been funny.
Yeah, that's old vanilla all bosses tech. They used to do that. If you open the I think it's the map chest door, and then do a few Samarias.
Yeah, you do a couple of Samarias, and I would totally just find the big key on the way and not have to do it, which is why it would have been the most amazing play.
It would have been, yeah. Although, I mean, most people wouldn't have an issue with it, but I remember trying to go for that in the past, and yeah, if you accidentally go through the door or the shooter like hits you while you're trying to do the East Samaria, it can go badly, but
I forgot about
I
the
mean,
shooter. Yeah, that's a pain in the butt. But I think the shooter is a bigger issue in all bosses because you're low on health.
yeah, that's true too. And yeah, using your brain is very hard. I was sitting here wondering why Chex like didn't open Meyer, and he like didn't have a sword like forever, and I was like, oh my god.
I hope you don't mind me
Brain.
sticking around for the rest of this race. I'm enjoying watching Chex play and chatting about No Logic to speed gaming too.
Oh yeah, I don't mind at all. It's great to have someone else up here.
Of course, I'm watching on a bit of a delay because I don't have to. I did very deliberately skip the cutscene room because I just couldn't justify doing it when I was playing No Logic Double Rods.
Yeah, it's the one that most people skip, I feel like. Like the reason why I like the Overworld conveyor route, if you can, is because it gets that chest. I mean, you still have to watch a cutscene of swords to get there, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel
That's
as
true.
bad. It
Is a
doesn't feel as
cutscene.
bad.
I never thought
It-
about that. You are waiting a long time to get in.
It just doesn't feel as bad, though, for some reason.
This is quite the route for Chex. I guess it's cool. It's like an all bosses style dungeon hopping using the crystal prize warp. Very efficient.
Definitely. And that's one of the fun things about this mode. Well, getting the Meyer crystal, Meyer crystal off of Moldorm, because earlier we saw he did the Eastern State Vidi after having already gotten Eastern's crystal, so that was a good way to clean it up.
This is a sign of an advanced no logic player is when they're thinking about the order they do dungeons in that will optimally warp them around the world where they need to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just like doing them one at a time.
Yeah, I didn't explain this earlier because there was like kind of a lot to cover, but no matter what dungeon the game thinks you're in, the boss will always warp you, like the boss prize will warp you to the front of that boss's dungeon. So that's kind of what Mal was saying, is you can, if you plan far enough ahead and you have like the items to like complement your route, like it can get really, really cool and efficient. And Tam does that a lot too. Tam is another really strong player. Well, of every mode, actually, but No Logic is no exception.
I think Tam might be like, I want to say like one of the smartest players, like who plays the most smart. Not necessarily like raw intelligence, but like specifically at rando and their ability to do stuff like that and also read logic, which obviously we don't do in this mode, but is pretty important in other modes.
And this Moblin sprite is hilarious. I can't get over that. Why is Link a Moblin? I don't know if this is the pixel or not. Oh, it wasn't the pixel. That's a shame.
No, I could. When you were saying that, I was looking at the delayed version. And it wasn't the pixel. I didn't want to say anything though, because maybe he would have like moved afterward.
Well, fortunately, it can still do the mirror clip.
I know the pixel, but I can never remember which tile to be on, and I always get it wrong.
Chex is doing the mirror Super Bunny and is gonna get a Lonk, I think, and then use that to get a Link state instead of dying, maybe a little bit faster.
I think it is faster if he has this much health, but yeah. But I hope he retains that Link state going into Ganon. I think he does, but I can't remember.
You definitely do, because of Aga 2 gives you the Link state. Like, just from that warp.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing I was supposed to do in this seed, this Samaria corruption. It's funny, because I've spent the whole seed playing with the Cane of Samaria, and forgot I had it for this one glitch. Which I wouldn't have even done this, I would have done Quadrant Glitch, which you do right after Trinex. If you do anything else after Trinex, and then you come back, you do this instead.
Oh, very nice, Clay.
Yeah,
That was
like-
so smooth. Like, he did it in so few motions. I have to buffer, like, way more than that. It was like swinging my sword all over the place.
Wipe is so hard, man. Like, hard to actually get out, and then hard to save time, and then hard not to chicken out. Because if you dash too far, you'll soft lock.
Yep.
I'm kind of glad I didn't go to GT, even though I had good stuff in it, because playing without the hookshot, but still having like a bunch of other tools was pretty fun. If I had the hookshot, I would have just hook pushed everywhere. It wouldn't be as interesting.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
mirror was the unsung hero.
Oh, right away when the mirror and bonk rocks, I was like, oh, that's gonna be big. Like, even if they don't actually need it, it's such a huge quality of life for routing.
It got me into TR from my Pearl. I wouldn't have done that.
Yep.
I might have done it from Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Chex actually gave us that bomb juke and then hovered all the chests in Hookshot Cave, but I think that was actually where the other ice rod was. I think, I'm not sure.
Interesting. I never did find the duplicate rods in the seed.
Oh, some
But I also
Chex.
didn't find the swords. Where the heck were those other swords?
Alright, Chex is gonna finish with an official time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 16 seconds. GG to Chex for finishing that out despite a lot of trouble, like game crashing and other difficulties. So good on him for finishing it out. Always great to watch Chex play. See if we can get him in here. Hello, Chex, GG.
GG.
Hey, well, so I'm not sure what happened. You had a bit of an unfortunate crash there. Sorry to bring that up right away, but I actually missed it, so I'm kind of just like, what?
Yeah, doing the early moth STC will crash on this firmware, and just gave it a shot anyway. So it crashed again. I have not tried it on fast ROM, so might as well try. Didn't work though.
Might as well try it in a race. But
Yeah, GG's. I don't know.
it's okay, yeah. I also heard that you were trying the new Tudge, so Flipperless Argus, just for fun.
Flipperless Argus? No, I wasn't.
You weren't? Okay.
But I was fake flippering just to get from the back to the front. That's all.
Oh, that's
interesting.
what you were doing.
How does that work?
Okay.
Does that get you past the key door?
It just gets you out of the back.
Oh, I understand. You were trying to go to like the roundabout room.
Yeah, I just went
Get
to
more
the
chests.
waterfall chest, and then I had to go to the front.
Mm-hmm. And you fake flipper to get out of that little water square. And of course, you need an extra desert small key to do that, which was sitting on Bombo's tablet.
Oh yeah.
Kind of funny. I never got that. I love the new play of stealing the key from
No,
Thieves
that's-
Town and then spending it in desert.
Oh man.
So you
Oh,
can
sorry.
conceivably get those double keys.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just
Chucks, I
put
thought
off
you-
desert.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were in Hera State because you scummed the key, I remember. So I thought you went into Swamp from Hera.
Yeah, I was definitely in Hera State. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess
Sure.
I was just confused because you clipped through the rail in the one, like, back swimming pool. So I thought you were doing Taj's new thing. I got pretty excited, but then I was like, no, he doesn't have enough keys. I don't know what he's doing.
Hotshow's
Oh,
new
I-
thing is very cursed.
I had already. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited about trying that out. I just haven't got to that. As far as the seed goes, I had already beat Argus.
Oh,
Just looking
yeah.
for swords.
Oh, I just didn't know what you were doing because, like, that's not something you normally see people do. I was no. Well, I apologize to the audience. The commentary could have been a little bit better, I guess. So I just used my brain a little bit more. But that's still, though, that was not common routing. That was very interesting.
No, I mean, I get a little desperate after an hour and just lose sight of what is supposed to be done in a seed, so that's okay. I was just looking for a sword, and I just didn't go to Turtle Rock. I'm not sure where other swords are, but Turtle Rock had them.
Well, even with Argus having already been killed, you would have gotten Hera prize, or you would have gotten a prize from doing there. So maybe that's what I was thinking why you were doing that. Because people don't normally swim through that one room with the enemies, and that one room that's like never usually seen in the first place. So that was
Yeah,
the only.
that's true. I just in Hera you can't really get you can't really do Hera based on how the prize falls in the center of the super tile. It's just
Oh, that's true.
that's not gonna happen.
Oh, right. You know, I'd forgotten that because I don't know, it's not something that comes up usually.
No.
The funny thing is if you're playing like a dungeon shuffle mode and you have to do para, you have to, and you do like the sewer door stuff, you actually have to like dupe it at Hera. So you end up swapping your dungeon ID and then going to Hera because it's the only boss room where you can get the prize.
Yeah, I think I used to do that a long time ago.
Alright, so what dungeon is paired with Hera then? That you have to go through the door?
Thieves Town. It's pretty terrible. I haven't been playing no logic dungeon shuffle, but I could see that being a situation that you run into where it's like at Mire and you need the medallion for it.
Oh, you know what? I actually knew that because of the rain seeds. I just it's usually the other way around that you have to do it.
Other way around is easy, but yeah, Hera's actually kind of a pain. But I'm sure next year when we run the No Logic tournament, the main tournament, not just the mentor tournament, we might have a chance to see all of this tech that we talked about today, even the stuff we didn't get to do.
Oh yeah, Chex also showcased the Blockbuster.
yeah.
I forgot about that. Always a pleasure to see.
2022 classic.
So are we getting more of these no logic dailies? Does anyone know? Or
I think I'm told that there will be more glitch races, and even if there won't be, Speed Gaming tries to put a glitch race in the daily rotation at least like every 3 weeks, and usually it'll be HMG or no logic. So I'm sure there will be more to come. And if you want to see more, ask your local representative at Speed Gaming. Twitch.tv/speedgaming if you want to see more glitched, because they might listen to you.
good idea. You know, Chex, actually, I did have a question for you, because Malmo gave me the idea to ask you. So, since it came up a lot in the seed, I was wondering for myself personally, how do you perform Spin YBA, like physically? How do you put your hand on the controller? Figure you're like an expert on glitching.
Let's see. So I get into position. I hold. How do I do that? So I'm holding. I think hang on 1 second, because I have to grip to find out.
Such an awkward thing. It's like, how do you do it?
So I think I'm rotating the controller 90 degrees clockwise. Then I hold B with my left hand, and I use my right hand to hit up and Y on the same frame.
Oh, kind of like a boots clipping grip.
Sure. Let's see here.
That's
when I
definitely...
boots clip, I rotate to the left.
Oh my god, how do you do like 2 different rotations? That sounds so hard. I lose my mind if I rotate my controller.
I don't know. That's what I think I do. I'm not really sure.
Well, thanks for sharing, though. I always am curious about that because I find it to be an awkward, like, physical thing to do with the controller because it's just weird inputs. But I
Honestly,
might try that.
I think I have to turn off push to talk to actually know, because I can't do it and push to talk at the same time.
Yeah, fair enough. I was just asking. I mean, always appreciate tips. But yeah, no, I'm really glad you finished this one out. I mean, you got horribly unlucky with the just because the swords were not good on this siege, but and then the crash on top of it. But it's
Yeah.
good to see a no logic race, though.
Yeah, so glad you were here to commentate it, and I'm glad we were able to showcase it.
Definitely. Well, I guess if you guys don't have any, do you guys have any other thoughts, or should we just close it out here?
Let's close it out.
All right. Well, everyone, please follow the runners, Chex Human and Super Malmo World, and very, very cool people, talented runners. Thank you to Solid for tracking, much appreciated. Um, I don't know if it was Homemade Beer what did the restream. I'm gonna assume that was him or Drossi or somebody that like always does that. So thank you to the restreamer. I apologize if that was a miscredit. And everybody, thank you for watching. See you next time.